Hey, it's Donny. Hey. Today we're going to talk about the minor triads. I'm going to show you how to play them, and I'm going to show you a pattern that you can follow to always find them, whether you go up the neck or down the neck. We're going to do this in B minor. I just did a lesson on the major triads. If you didn't watch that one, you should go watch that. I'll link that right here. We went over the 1, 4, and 5 chords. So those are the only 3 major chords in a key. There's also only 3 minor chords in a key. We did that lesson in D major. We're going to do this in B minor. B minor is the relative minor of D major. We're going to think of this as we're in the key of D major, and we're going to call these chords our 6, 2, and 3. So our 6, 2, and 3 are minor chords. They're always the minor chords in a key. This is really cool stuff that you should definitely stick around for. We're going to start right off with a B minor chord, and we're going to go over the triads on the G, B, and high E string first. And then at the end of this lesson, I'll show you the triads on the D, G, and B string as well. I'm not going to go over every note that I'm fretting, but I will put chord charts on the screen, so if you need to pause the lesson and get the fingering down, you'll be able to see the frets and the shape of these chords. We're going to start with a B minor on the 7th fret. That B minor is based off of a larger B minor bar chord shape, the 6-string bar chord. It's just the top of that shape. When you have that, if you're going up the neck towards the bridge, it's always going to be 6, 2, 3. When you go down the neck, it's always going to be 6, 3, 2. This continues to repeat everywhere, all along the fretboard. We're going to start with a B minor. Then we have our E minor here. Our E minor is part of this 5th string bar chord right there. And then if you go up a whole step with that shape, you have your F sharp minor. So you would have 6, 2, 3, or you'd have 6, 2, 3. If we go, that's going up the neck, going back down the neck towards the headstock. We have 6, 3, 2. So this is still the same B minor that we played. This is part of your D minor cage shape. Typically when I hear people talk about cage, they're always talking about the major chords that climb up the neck, as in cage, but it works for minor too. So if you have your D minor shape in the open position, well, the top 3 strings are movable, and that's a triad. So that would be an F sharp minor, which is your 3, and then you'd have an E minor here. The cool thing is this totally repeats. If we come back here, I'll show you how you can get right back to a B minor. So if you go 6, 3, 2, 6. So then if you're going up the neck, your 2 would be right next to your 6. So this is your B minor 5th string bar chord, just the top of that shape. So you'd have 6, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 6. Super cool stuff. I was amazed. I basically figured this out on my own because I started learning the triads, and I started with the 1, 4, 5 major chords, and I was like, well, I need to know the major triad, so I'm playing around with them, and I realized, okay, if you have a 1 here, you have a 4 here, and a 5 here. And then I was playing around, and I'm like, okay, you have a 1 here, well, there's a 5 right here, and I know if I have a 5, then a 4 is a whole step away. So I kind of just figured out that it works like this, and it absolutely blew my mind. Then I went to the minor triads, and I'm like, well, the minor triads are basically just a 1, 4, 5. So that's why it follows all the same shapes and everything. If you're going to play around with this, you can play rhythm, you can play lead with it. Just going to play a little example of something you could do just to show you. Super fun to play around with this. Definitely something you need to work on. I just want to show you quick the D, G, and B string triads. These are cool too. Obviously work the same way. They're built off of the same larger chord shapes. If we're gonna take this B minor, the 7th fret, and you're gonna move that to the D, G, and B string, it'd look like this. So you'd have 6, 2, 3, 6 again. You'd have 6, 3, 2, 6. I hope you found this helpful. I think this is super cool. I think it's super helpful. If you're playing in one position, you can easily move into another position of the neck. The next lesson I want to do is show you how the major triads and the minor triads in a key all relate. You can find them in the same areas of the neck. They're basically on top of each other. It's super cool that you can do this, that the guitar's, laid out this way. And this is why advanced guitar players that really master this can just fly up and down the neck playing chord tones the whole time they're soloing, make melodies and make everything sound great because they really understand where all the notes are that are underneath what they're playing, right? These all match up to scales, so you can play one position of a pentatonic scale and then you can move it up to another position of a pentatonic scale, and the chords underneath it follow the same general pattern of where they are in relation to each other. So it's super helpful when you can start figuring this stuff out, and you can start making triads usable and helpful to you when you know where they are in relation to each other, so you can apply them to a chord progression. Super cool stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please hit subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.